All right, Casey, great, thank you. So this is the second installment in the STEINEL Heat Tools webinar series. We did one a couple weeks ago that was exclusively focused on the roofing segment. And this one is for the more traditional business where while we're launching into roofing, we've been into the electronics industry for some time. And so some of the folks on this call are very familiar, deeply familiar with our products, probably know all the ins and outs very, very well. So some of this will be review, and for some of you, some of this will be new. So hopefully everybody takes away something today that they didn't know before. But as we move forward, we'd really like to focus on a couple of things. So STEINEL, we've got a little bit of a new branding campaign going on with the tagline, "The Inventors Company." And you can see in our logo here in the upper right, the two circles, the idea being that represents us going from idea to product, or acorn to oak tree, in the way we develop products. And so, as the Inventors Company, we think outside the box. We look at things that other people, our competitors, take for granted. We look at products and we find ways to innovate them where others have really not bothered to take that second look. So we pride ourselves on bringing value-added features and functions without additional costs, right? So those of you who know our products will know what I'm talking about. As we go through this, we'll point out a few ideas or examples where we're really packing a lot more feature and functionality into our products, at relatively the same price points as our competitors. So there's four things that we're really going to talk about on this webinar today, and that is first, high quality. As many of you know, our products are all made in Europe, made by STEINEL. We don't outsource and we don't manufacture in China. We have the highest quality standards in the industry. We quality control every single piece of equipment that comes off our line before it goes in the box. So we know that the product we're delivering to your customer, to you, is of the highest quality. It's working, and it meets the specifications that are outlined in the catalog and the specification sheets. Second, we've got better technology. We've got just innovative things that make our products just a little bit better than everybody else's. We're very focused on making it, providing maximum efficiency. So, the user can get their job done better, faster, and safer. The fourth point, we incorporate a lot of safety features into our products that we'll talk about as we go through the presentation. So we just wanted to, specify or mention that we are one of the most specified tools in the industry. We don't run into a lot of competitors who are specified by engineering divisions, and we find our tools, really the applications and industry segments that we see our products going into the most: wire harnessing, printed circuit boards, aerospace and defense, medical equipment, electronics manufacturing, telecommunications. Each of our regional sales managers and reps on this call today can probably think of a couple of end customers that fit into these different categories. So this is really the heart and soul of our tools business, and we wanted to focus on which products we have that really hit the needs of these industries the most. As mentioned before, we did one previously on roofing. We'll probably have another one more focused on automotive at some point in the near future, maybe in about 2 weeks. But for today, we really want to focus on the products and the features and functions of those products that make them really ideal for these segments in electronics. So high quality. I mentioned that everything is made in Europe. We have a very strict set of quality control procedures that we implement in our own factories. We do rigorous quality testing. So as mentioned before, every single unit is tested. And we test not just that it works, but also that it's working within tolerance and that it's going to deliver the right temperatures, the right air outputs, et cetera, so that it matches the expectations of the customer. We've got some products that have a 10,000-hour brushless motor, so no one else in the industry is out there creating products that can last for 10,000 hours. If you do the math, that's a lot of hours. That's a long time that motor is going to be working. we've got the durable ceramic encapsulated heat element. So while not fully indestructible, it will withstand a little bit more torture than our competitors' products, drop tests and those kinds of things. We do have spare parts. We have abundant spare parts available in stock here in the U.S. Every single part on our products is actually replaceable. The majority, there's probably a small handful of those parts that are typically really easy to field replace, which again contributes to the long life of the product. And we also have incorporated into the product, self-monitoring of the product to make sure it doesn't overheat. We know that a lot of users kind of abuse the tool and will maybe not put it in shutdown mode, or will holster it in a tight space where you may have some issues with overheating. So we've incorporated into the product a self-monitoring for overheating. So these are some of the things that we do that make sure that the products that we're delivering are the highest quality and longest lasting in the industry. Better technology. So we provide you smarter tools for what you need. Our higher end digital heat guns have precision within 10 degrees Fahrenheit, fully programmable heat and air output settings. We've got locking features. So, if your engineers know that you want to be using a heat tool at a certain temperature, at a certain airflow, you can program it and then lock it in. And that way the user just picks up the gun and uses it. No human error added in there. And programmable with multiple programs. So if you've got multiple different things that you're going to be doing with it, you just select which program and it'll automatically go to the right heat and airflow. So lots of things in here just to make it a little smarter and a little bit better. We've also got a great selection of nozzles. So if you look at the sieve nozzle, you can see it pictured there. We've got a great airflow in there, which will maximize the delivery of airflow to a certain area, and making sure that the temperature and airflow is consistent across a little bit of a wider space. So again, just something a little smarter that makes the product just a little bit better. In terms of efficiency, we've developed a portfolio of accessories to go with the product, always designed with the end user in mind, trying to make it easier for the end user to get their job done and get it done quickly. So we mentioned the ceramic and plastic encapsulated heat element. It's also plug and play, so you can see it depicted here. Once you take off the barrel with just a couple of screws, it just pops out, pop it back in, screw the barrel back together, and you're ready to go. It's that simple. It's as far as I know, it's the easiest, by far the easiest changeable heating element out there today. We've also got a field changeable power cord. So you can, on most of our models, you can replace the power cord, you can replace the element. Those are the two items that users tend to break the most. And so we can, keep them going and get them going again much quicker with very easy to maintain product. You can see the hands-free flex stand. That's a little innovation that we came up with. It perfectly holds the gun. You can angle it where you want it. You can have it hold the gun right where you need it, and you can kind of just move your equipment underneath it rather than having to hold the tool. So again, just trying to make it easier for the end customer and make it more efficient for production purposes. You can also use that to secure the tool to the workbench so it doesn't get misplaced. And as briefly mentioned before, we've got a wide range of nozzle types, so reduction nozzles, spreader nozzles, reflectors, sieves. So for every application out there, we've got a nozzle that's pretty much the right one for that job. Really focused on trying to make sure the job is easy, fast, and keeping the work staff productive. Not just productive, but also safe. In today's environment, obviously we're all thinking about safety, personal safety, which has taken on some new meanings in the last few weeks, but we've always been very focused on safety at STEINEL. We have worked very diligently on ergonomically designing our grips so that you can avoid fatigue in the forearm. You can work for longer hours and not suffer any of the typical long-term injuries, repetitive use type injuries, just because our heat tools are really well balanced. At this point in the presentation, if we were face to face, I'd love to hand you a tool and have you hold it. But for those of you who've seen it, you can tell when you hold the heat tool, our guns, they just balance right there on your hand. And if you need a demo unit, we're more than happy to get you one. We've got the thermal cutout that prevents burns. We've done a lot to actually help avoid burns with our tools. We've got the wire protection tubes. We've also entered a partnership with Fusion Afterburn. Fusion for their afterburn tape, which you can put right over our nozzles. We've done extensive testing in our labs. Does no damage to the heat tool, no adverse effects to the motors, the brushless motor or regular motors. And no negative impact on heat discharge during the cool down phase. So really a great couple of solutions for enhancing the safety of the product. We also provide a flashing LED that lets you know that the tool's still hot. So even if the person hasn't run the cool down mode, and even if you've pulled the plug on it, you're still going to have a flashing red LED that lets you know the temperature of the tool is still too hot to touch on the barrel. So just lots of little things. Safety has always been one of our primary focuses. And so there's lots of little innovations here to help you keep your people safe when they're working with heat tools. Okay. So moving on to the portfolio, we've chosen these. Obviously, we have a very wide range of heat tools. There are some additional heat tools that we have available, but these are the ones that we really feel are best served for the electronics industry. We do see occasionally use of some of the barrel style guns as well, but we wanted to focus today's conversation on this line of professional tools. And you can see, we've broken it down into good, better, and best. And what you'll see is at the good level, you've got a great tool there, high quality, all the things we just talked about, lots of safety features and functions. But as you move from left to right, you're going to see more technology, more features, more programmability, more precision, and as we go left to right. So we'll start with the 1820. The 1820 is a great tool. It's a very high quality product, durable. It's got a 600-hour brushed motor, 20% longer lifetime than other products in its price range in its category. It does come standard. You can see here it's got the little hanger clip for integrated work support. The heating element is ceramic encapsulated, so it does withstand a little bit better than some of our competitors' products. Optimized center of gravity. So a lot of things we talked about before in terms of making it a better product, a safer product, a higher performing, high quality product. We get all that right here in the very the entry level good model, the 1820. As we step up to the 1920, we get a little more precision. If you look here, you can see we've just got the hotter settings, basically a hotter, hottest setting on the tool. Now you've got that for the fan output, but you also have a rotary dial, right? So you have a little thumb wheel, real easy to access, real easy for the user to make modifications to the settings as they go. Great little tool, high quality, great temperature range, really excellent product as well, and gives you just a little bit more precision than the 1820. Another little product that we launched a couple years back is the 350 ESD. This is a very affordable, really cost-effective solution for working in an ESD environment. It's very lightweight, ergonomically designed, so it balances nice and easy in your hand. Just a couple of simple settings: a two-stage trigger, 750 and 930 Fahrenheit. But this is one of the least expensive ESD safe tools in the market. Talk to your rep, your RSM about pricing on this model. It really is actually very, very competitive. There's some very popular, similar styled product out there that is definitely a notably more expensive product than what we've got here. And we've got all the performance. We've got the great lightweight, the easy design. It's nice and small. It doesn't take up much room on a workbench, and again is ESD safe. So a great little product. We've really seen the 350 ESD start to pick up lately. All right, moving into the better category. The big step up here is you're going to start to see more digital readout, right? So, and all that goes with having the digital readout there. So you're in that same category with a 600-hour brushed motor. Very easy access to get in and change the power cord. You know, we've got the barrel here, with the little notch on it, which allows the easy on-off of our wide range of nozzles. We've got still the ceramic encapsulated heating element, so you've still got the nice durability there. But now you're starting to get into, you know, we've got a thermal cutout here to prevent overheat. You've got the HL scan you can snap on top. But most importantly, you've got the digital readout, and you can see here the little thumb dial that'll allow you to set it in 10-degree increments. So this is where you're starting to move up into the better category, but you're still in the really competitive price range due to the brushed motor. So really a great gun. This is this is easily our top selling model, you know, the most popular, where we're starting to bridge the gap, moving into digital, but not all the way to the high end of features, functions, and lifespan. When we get into the 2320, you know, what's pictured here is the regular 2320. We also have an ESD version, and really visually the only difference is that it's in black as opposed to black and gray. So you can see the difference. You can physically see that the 2320 is not the same as the 2320 ESD. The ESD is in fact the only certified ESD heat tool available in the market. So it's got we've gone to a 3-prong cord on the ESD to allow to run to ground, in addition to running all the electrostatic discharge, so we can run it all to ground. Similar to the 2020, you do have the hanger here and the brush motor, although you've got a little bit longer lifespan on this one. You've got the ergonomically designed, you've got the soft handle here, the 2-stage airflow, but you also have joystick and programming features here where you can actually preset the programming and lock it. And you can see the LCD screen there, a little bit more robust. And again, you've got the HL scan and the dust filter available as well. But really the big step up here on the 2320 is going to give you the programming and the 10-degree increments with the joystick and being able to program and lock it. So we've got a question, what are the benefits of... Yeah, what are the benefits of locking this tool? So the benefit of locking the tool is if you've got a very precise procedure that needs to be done. Let's say you've got one step in a manufacturing process and you need to be either welding or heat shrinking at a very specific and precise temperature. You may want that locked in at 1310, and when the user turns it on, it goes right to 1310 and stays at 1310. So you can lock it so that the user can't, you know, change the temperature and airflow, just making it simpler and easier, and basically not having any issues with the user going off course and modifying the settings. There may be a belief out there, for example, a lot of end users will think to themselves, well, if I turn up the heat, I don't need to weld as long, perhaps, right? And that's maybe not what you want. Maybe if you really want it to go for a certain number of minutes at, you know, 1200, you don't want them raising it up to 1300 and cutting down on the time, thinking that they've gotten it done faster when really they've gotten it done poorer. So that's one example. All right, moving up to the top of the line in our professional grade tools here, we've got the 2520. And the 2520, you can see physically, you can see the barrel's a little bit bigger because we've put a powerful brushless motor in there with a 10,000 hour lifespan. You've still got the same safety heat indicator in the hanger, but you've also got the plug-in heating element that when you take this out, you pop it out, pop it back in. You've got the HG scan available, same ergonomic handle, a changeable power cord, right? You've got the on-off switch here, but you've got the, again, you've got the joystick for programming the airflow and the temperature. Yeah, another question in the question and answer. Are you looking to create a battery heat gun? Yes, of course. We're absolutely looking at that. We have come out with a prototype. It's in early stages of its development, but we have developed the technology on a mobile version of the heat gun. Okay. So that's really it on the electronic industry and the heat tools for the electronics industry. You know, wanted to focus once again on the 4 real critical elements. You know, we're very much focused on high quality, providing the highest quality heat guns in the market. We've developed a lot of interesting little technological elements in the accessories as well as in the gun itself. And we're really focused on driving that maximum efficiency for the end user while keeping them safe.
John,
would like to.
I think a lot of people might want to know is the best way to get a demo unit to show customers. So maybe speak to that.
Yeah,
I want to know too.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So if you need a demo unit, the easiest way is just reach out to your regional sales manager. If you're not sure who your regional sales manager is, you can always contact sales@steinel.net. It'll get routed to the right person. But we're very aggressive about getting heat tools in the hands of customers, particularly customers who are looking at maybe upgrading or moving away from a competitive technology and interested in getting into ours. Typically, we're just looking for kind of an idea of what the opportunity size is, how many heat tools might the customer need, and that kind of thing. But yeah, reach out to your RSM or again, sales@steinel.net. One other note.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to mention one other note. Our orders, our order processing and order entry team, our sales team is really world class. Orders, shipped to us by 1 o'clock Central will go out same day. We carry a lot of inventory here in the U.S. As mentioned, we manufacture in Europe, but we bring everything over in shipments. We keep about 2 to 3 months stock. So we're really great and proud of our turnaround time. That 1 o'clock cutoff, we're really good about getting product out and turned around quickly. So, all right.
Okay, so you did speak briefly about grounding on the 2320. Can you touch on that again and talk about how the 350 ESD is grounded?
Yeah. So, yeah, great point. So with the 2320, we originally launched it about 18 months ago, and it was grounded to the user. So it was, with the assumption that the user was going to be grounded and the electrostatic discharge would be basically transmitted through the user's hand and then down through their ESD, grounding. But we've modified that. So we added a third prong to the 2320 ESD, and now it's running to ground. All right. Where does the product ship from in the U.S.? So we stock our product in Bloomington, Minnesota. Bloomington, Minnesota is where our warehouse is, so we're pretty centrally located. Just about any point in the continental United States is within our 2-day shipping circle. So we're also, at the user's cost, at the end customer's cost, we're more than happy to expedite and go to overnight shipping as necessary. But yeah, we ship same day and basically 2-day shipping pretty much gets us anywhere in the country within 2 days.
And then there's another question about the lock code. How secure is the lock code?
Well, yeah, that's a great question. I mean, it's not that it necessarily adheres to any of the generally recognized standards in the industry, but yeah, once it's locked, you can unlock it by entering the lock code, sure. But the idea is that the end user won't have that code, and so is it possible, conceivable that somebody would unlock it and modify how it's being used? Perhaps, but we're not seeing a lot of we don't hear that happening in reality. So yeah, it's quite secure. It's quite secure, and it seems to be very, very effective. Question on the free shipping threshold for orders. Free shipping starts at $750. So that tends to be a reasonably sized order. For if you're looking at the high end, the 2520s, that's just a small number of tools, and on the 350s, you're looking at probably 7 or 8 of those, and you're already over the free shipping threshold. So if you throw on some accessories together with a couple of guns, it's not difficult to hit that free shipping threshold.
Okay, so I think we can open it up to live questions. If anybody has a live question, again, press that raise hand button, or you can type in a question in the chat. Sean, it looks like we have a question about warranty. Does our warranty exceed several competitors?
Yeah, our warranty is right there on par with the industry. We're a little bit better than some of our competitors out there, but we have strong standard warranty terms.
Okay, so it looks like Paula has a question. I've unmuted you, so go ahead. Paula, if you're talking, you'll have to select, some message will come up saying allow yourself to speak or unmute yourself. Oh, never mind. It was a mistake. No question, sorry. Okay, no problem. So if anybody else has a question they want to answer or ask live, please raise your hand or ask a question in the chat window. And then we also have that Q&A window as well. Someone's asking about reps in Mexico.
Yeah, so reach out to our regional sales manager out of Texas, Tim Smith. He'd be the right point of contact for that, or reach out to sales@steinel.net, and we can get you routed to Tim for a conversation about that.
Okay, and we have a question from someone saying STEINEL makes several other competitor brands. Is that correct?
Yeah, we do have a couple of OEM relationships. You'll see us out. You'll see our tools out there in a couple of places. Just very limited though. We don't really do any of the top end guns. It's really products that are exclusively at the low end. We don't really make our top end guns that we talked about on this call for anybody else at this point. We have some lower end lines like what we would call the SV800, our Ultra Heat series. There are a couple of competitors out there who source that as an OEM product. And a couple that are into the what used to be the 1910s, or which we've gone up to the 1920s. So yeah, there are a few of our products out there that are OEM products for some of our competitors, but for the most part, what we talked about today, like the 2520, 2320, 2020, those are only available in the STEINEL brand.
Okay, it looks like the questions have all been asked. If there's any other last question, raise your hand or just go ahead and type that into the chat. One question that people often ask is if this is going to be available. And yes, we will post this on our YouTube channel as well as on the website. And you, since you registered, you'll get an email about that within a couple days. So Sean, if you wanted to say anything, any last words?
Yeah, so hey, thanks everybody for coming out. You know, we've got this discussion material is, as Casey mentioned, available to you. We're also more than happy, our regional sales guys are more than happy to jump on a call with you. And, you know, we've got a platform that you can extend out to your customer base. So if this format is something that you're interested in pursuing and doing more of this kind of interaction with your customers, you know, given the current operating environment and the status of, you know, lockdowns across the country and the difficulties that we're facing, keeping the business going while keeping our social distance, you know, we're finding that the webinar is the most effective tool where we can talk about our products in an interactive way with graphics and kind of get into it and capture as much of the in-person experience as possible. So reach out to Ryan, Tim, or Steve or myself, and if you'd like us to jump on a call with you and we can use our platform, if you've got your own, we're happy to do that. Or we'll just, you know, shoot you the materials and you can use them how you like. But, you know, we really want to make ourselves available to help keep things going out there. And I guess with that, I'll just say, you know, stay productive and stay safe. Thanks, everybody.